College football playoff just dropped the top 25. Oklahoma's not in a bad spot. Let's talk about what this means and what it could look like for the Sooners going forward right now. Before we do that, welcome to Unfair Sports. I'm your host, Jay. Thank you for pulling up to the channel. This is a Hog Media production presented by Sleeper. If you're not using them for daily fantasy ball, you're missing out. Use our promo code UNFAIR, and they're going to hook you up with $25 just for signing up. And they're going to match your first deposit at 100% up to $100. Let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. The Oklahoma Sooners landed in the first college football playoff top 25 at a pretty favorable spot. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to give you this, and I'm going to tell you what it means and how Oklahoma could either get snubbed or get taken care of. Let's take a gander at it. So here's your graphic. College football playoff right now. Oklahoma sitting there at number 12. Texas at number 11 right before them. Notre Dame, Oregon, Texas Tech, BYU, Ole Miss, UGA, Bama, Texas A&M, Indiana, and Ohio State. That's basically your 12. Now, when you see this initially, you're thinking, cool, that means Oklahoma's in. Not so fast, my friend, as the great Lee Corso would say. No, this actually means Oklahoma is one of the first teams eliminated. It actually means that not only is Oklahoma eliminated, but it also means that Texas is eliminated. Here's your reason why. Because if you look at this, the biggest problem you run into is there's no ACC team in the top 12, and there's no G5 team in the top 12, which means both of them will get a spot and will end up in the playoffs. So if the playoffs started today, Texas is eliminated and Oklahoma's eliminated. Right. Doesn't sound right, but that's exactly how it works. Mainly because in the top 25, the way it's set is, in the playoffs, rules itself is the highest rated G5 champion gets in. They're probably, I think Memphis is like 26 or 27 probably. Same thing with the highest rated conference champions of each conference. And Virginia right now is number 14. If they were the conference champions, they'd be in. So that means that your bottom two fall off. And somehow Notre Dame is still in there. Look, I don't even know how Notre Dame keeps getting all of this love. I'm just, I'm not even going to, it's just, it is what it is. So the understanding here is that Oklahoma is sitting in a good spot. Now, that's how they could get snubbed. Is there a chance the Sooners could see some good luck? I don't know. Let's talk about it. But first, shout out to our partners over there at Sleeper. If you're not using them for daily fantasy ball, of course, you are missing out. As y'all know, we always like to make a pick or two in here. But they're going to hook you up, match your first deposit at 100% up to $100. Plus, they're going to hook you up with just $20 just for showing up. So use our promo code UNFAIR. They've got the NBA action going on. You got Devin Booker tonight later on. About 9 o'clock. He's a free pick. Same thing with Bo Nix on Thursday night. He's a free pick. So he's one that you could definitely check out. But they've got some NBA stuff. Let's go to NBA action. We'll pick Devin Booker. We're going to take a little bit of Jimmy Butler action against Phoenix, because I think that he'll give you some numbers. I'm going to take less on Steph, but I'm going to take more on Chet Holmgren. I think he's going to get more than 26.5 in points, rebounds, and assists. Of course, the big thing is when you click on the player, you can see not only all the options there, but you can see their game log and see how they've performed and everything. Like, Chet doesn't get very many assists, but he does get you some rebounds, and he'll get you some points. And so he's been showing up a little bit more and more this season. So if you want to jump into the analysis and you feel like you know more ball, check them out. Use our promo code UNFAIR. Get a 100% match on your first deposit up to $100 and $20 just for showing up for all our new users. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Now, when y'all saw that top 25, you're probably wondering, Jay, how in the heck do you think Oklahoma could get screwed? Well, that's the way they get screwed. Virginia's got to get there. Same thing with a G5. Now, when you look at the graphic here, what can Oklahoma do to help themselves? That game right there against number 4, Bama, is going to be critical. If Oklahoma goes out there and wins that game, that basically walks them in through a lot of this. Now, a lot of these teams, some have big games coming up, like Georgia has Texas coming up. Bama has us. Texas A&M also has Texas coming up, right? You've got some matchups. Ohio State still got Michigan at the end of the year. But Tennessee being here, Ole Miss still got a couple games, which honestly I think Ole Miss has got a straight shot of winning 11 games this season. They've got it good. I mean, us in Georgia were probably their toughest games left. They may see some challenges and others. We'll see if other teams decide to step up. If Kentucky decides to be a spoiler again or something. Kidding. They've already played them. They're not going to worry about that. But there are some situations where Oklahoma has a shot. There's also a situation where Oklahoma get knocked off. That Bama game is probably the most important. And honestly, truth be told, Oklahoma beats Bama. Bama may still finish in the top 12 because they lost to a top team. That doesn't hurt them. Now, the Florida State loss should hurt them more, but it doesn't. Right? Like the Florida loss for Texas doesn't really hurt them. They're looking at some of the head-to-head stuff, and they're looking at the two losses there. Now, for Oklahoma, the saving grace for them is the two teams they lost to are right now in the neck of going into the playoffs. And so it doesn't really hurt them as bad, but at the same time, doesn't do much. Now, granted, let's remember, this is week 11. This is the first of many college football playoffs. So do I care as much? Not really, but I think the initial one's always a good, it gives you a good idea of how they're thinking. And I think that's probably the most important piece is they're using a lot more logic in this than we anticipated. So can't truly be mad at it. All I got to do is go out there and win, baby. Let me know what y'all think. Hop in the comments. I definitely want to hear y'all's thoughts. Want to talk something real quick at y'all because I thought that it made sense to, provide some content. Check out our partners over there at Sleeper. If you haven't checked them out for daily fantasy ball, you are 100% missing out. Use our promo code UNFAIR. They're going to hook you up and match your first deposit at 100% up to $100. Plus, they're going to give you $20 just for signing up. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Me and Coop will have a video for you all. We'll do something on Wednesday. We'll be going live. It'll be pre-recorded. We got some things in the evening. Coop is dealing with some stuff, so please keep praying for our guy Coop. He is still, him and the family are going through some things, but yeah, we'll make sure to have you all something as he's back to work, as they're waiting for his grandfather or whatnot, for the most part to pass. And so yeah, keep him in your prayers. Show him some love and all of that jazz. And we'll have some more content coming this week since it's a bye week. We'll talk through a lot of the way this rankings mean and how this team has been playing. I mean, heck, they're in the thick of things. Now they got to do is just not screw it up. So y'all should be proud for a change. You're not very proud very often. So be proud. We'll chop it up soon. Peace.